Hello everyone. This is our project by Janvi Koban and Kripali for the data science honors course that we have. Our mini project name is Text Summarization Program, which we will be demonstrating further. Our problem statement goes like generating an efficient and useful summary from a rather lengthy text or a text file. So we'll see how that works out. Backend will be explained by Janvi Mazge, the coding part. So let's see.
My name is Janhavi Mazge and I am from IT department. I am going to explain about the code and the logic behind the text summarization app that we have created. In the first module, as we can see, we have imported many libraries, pandas, numpy, and networks and NLTK. Here, networks helps us create a network of sentences that we are going to see further. In NLTK library enables us to import all the words in the form of stop words that we use in our day-to-day sentences. NLTK is a library which is used widely for text, dialogue, and semantic analysis. In the next module, we create an function called as read article, which reads the text that we provide in our text summarization text box. Here, in this function, the text box reads all the lines that are provided, ignoring all the breakages in the lines. Also, it separates the paragraphs that are there in the text. It ignores all the paragraph breakages as well. Here, we split the sentences by the spaces that are in the sentences, and we store everything into a list named as sentences. In the next function, build similarity matrix, we use we pass the sentences here that we had created in our first function to this similarity build similarity matrix function as a parameter. Also, we pass all the stop words that we had imported. Okay, similarity matrix is basically a matrix that has dimensions of the length of the sentences, both rows and columns. Here, in the similarity matrix, we would come to know how similar both the sentences are to each other. Here, we compare two sentences with each other. Similarly, we assign two indices and check whether they are similar to each other or not. And similarity matrix contains values that range from 0 to 1. Next, we have sentence similarity. Now, when in this sentence similarity function, two sentences are compared with each other and stop words is equal to null is set. In this sentence, in this sentence similarity, first step that we do is convert the entire sentence into lowercase so that there are no difficulties while analyzing the sentence. Now, here we create in this function we create two vectors for each of the sentences. One, so here vector 1 is the vector for sentence 1, vector 2 is the vector for sentence 2. Now, in this function, we count all the words that appear in the sentence and their frequencies. Here, if W in sentence 1 is in stop words, we continue and do nothing. And if W occurs for the first time or it is not included in the stop words, we increment the value. That means we increment the frequency of the occurred word. Similarly, we do this for sentence 2 as well. Here, since we have built two vectors, out of all the counting and frequency calculating, we pass this to a function called as cosine distance. Cosine distance is basically a function that determines how similar two sentences are to each other. If angle between these two vectors is minimum, we can say that these sentences are similar to each other. More the angle, less the similarity. So we return the value of dissimilarity that we calculate using cosine distance. Now, finally, we combine and call all the functions that we have written into one single function called as generate summary. We pass a text file as a parameter, and top n is equal to 30 is the maximum number of sentences that we need. Here we do we use stop words in English and create a summarized text named list that would contain all the top ranked sentences that we would include in our summary. Here we call our first function read article and store its output into sentences. Sentence similarity matrix contains all contains the similarity matrix that we will build using build similarity matrix, and we pass sentences that we had declared here, which was the output of read article function, as the parameter to build similarity matrix function. In the next step, we make a graph using networks. As we know, if we had paid attention, import networks as NX. This library enables us to make a network out of all the sentences. Here, NX built from NumPy array sentence similarity matrix. Whatever matrix we had built out of sentence similarity matrix, it will make NX will make a network that would connect the sentences and their values to each other. The nodes be the values, and the weight of these connections would be the matrix values. Here NX networks also contains a function called PageRank NumPy. Now here it will range all the sentences that are top ranked into scores. Scores is basically top scores of the sentences that we have in our matrix. Ranked sentences contains all the sentences that are there in the scores, and we sort them in a order. Now we print all the indices of top ranked sentences which are contained in the ranked sentences. In the in the next step, in the loop, we create and we append all the sentences that are top ranked into one single list. Here we join this by using space and join all the ranked sentences like this. And next we call next we print the summary similar to the way we created the summary. We joined all the top ranked sentences. Now finally, coming to the 10th and the last module, we pass paper.txt, that is our text txt file, to this generate summary function and give 7 as parameter. Now the question is, here in this function while defining we had given top n equal to 30, and now here we are giving 7. This means nothing but this function can give maximum of 30 sentences, and we are calculating, and we only need 7 sentences out of the 30 top ranked sentences into our summary. Here we pass this long paper which contains so many text sentences and paragraphs. From here, the indices of all the top ranked sentences are printed like this till the end. We can see there are numerical values as well separated by the commas, and here we have all the words separated by spaces, which means one sentence has this much index in the matrix. Okay, here finally we generate our summarized text out of this huge paper, which will correctly, accurately contain 7 sentences. We can count it like by simply calculating full stop. This is the first sentence ends here. The second sentence, now the third sentence, fourth, fifth, sixth, and finally the seventh sentence. Here we complete our code. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I am Kripali Bhoir from IT department of BVCOAW. I am going to explain the front end of our text summarization project. We use HTML and CSS to design our front end. Let's start with this HTML part. HTML is a hypertext markup language, as we all know. With the HTML, we can create our own web page. We make two HTML pages here. First is this frontend.html and this result.html. Let's start this with the frontend.html. First is this doctype.html. Doctype.html is used for specifying which version of the HTML the document is using. The HTML document must start with this doctype declaration. Second is this HTML tag, defines the HTML document. Header tag contains the metadata or the information of the document. Then there is this HTML tag. HTML tag is that allow you to give the web page a title. Then it's line number 6, this real attribute. What is this real attribute? Real attribute is used to define the relationship between the linked file and the HTML document. This real style sheet is specify the persistence or the preferred style. We use this tag to link to the external file sheet. Then next 8, line number 8, body tag. Body tag defines the document body, and this body tag we use this background attribute is used to specify the background image for the document. Let's move on to this line number 10, that is header tag. Header tag contains the information related to the title and heading of the related content. Then this div class equals to container tag, used for the established with the width for the layout. Then there is a center tag, is used to center the text horizontally in the HTML. Let's jump to the line number 21, that is form action. This one. So form action, the URL that form the data is sent to the submit and generate it with the URL for. It can be omitted if the same URL handle showing the form and processing the data. Post equals to a method equals to post submitted data as a form data with the post method. Then there is a label tag, number 24, label tag. Label tag in HTML you used to provide the click improvement for the mouse users. Then there is an input style file. Input element with the type equal to file lets user choose one or more file for their device storage. Here is this line number 28, text area same, area name equals to text. In this tag we add the text we want to summarize, and the line number 23, 29 and 30, we use two buttons. First is a submit button to submit that text for summarization, and this reset button to clear this box of the text. So that's it from the front end part, front end.html part. Move on to the CSS part. CSS is a cascading style sheet. CSS is a style sheet language used for describing the presentation of a document written in the markup language, such as HTML. CSS is defined to enable the separation of presentation and content, including the layout, colors, and font. Here we use three tags, that is body, container, header. The body tag, we add the front font color to the pages. In the container, we add width and margin to the HTML element. Is the one concept, that is padding. Padding is used to create a space around an element contained inside of any defined border. So this is the CSS part to give the enhancement to the HTML to our web page. Then there is a, as I say earlier, we use two HTML pages. The second is the result.html. We use same tag that is we used earlier in the front end.html. This page is used to like the output of the summarization, that is the text summarize, the output is get displayed in this result.html. So that it from my side. The another part, that is Flask part, is going to cover by Komal Jha. Over to Komal Jha. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, this is Komal Jha and I'll be explaining the integration, that is the Flask of the project. Now here, as we can see, we have all the HTML and the CSS files that we've created in the front end, as Krupali explained. Later on, we'll be looking into how we've done the code for Flask. Here, we've imported the Flask function, and then we have given the root of the home page. We've given the data of our Python code that Janvi explained to the HTML, the front page. And that will later on the Python code will run and get a summary of everything. This is the code that helps you with that in that. So later on in below, you can see that now we have given, after the summary is generated, we have given it again the root we have given to the second page of the HTML that we have created, so that the output is shown there. We have allotted that text to the particular T1. That now we have given the options of giving a text file or just a text this. So return render template will return the summary result to the result page, and then app.run will run it. As you can see, we have we always first open the file. That's what we've done above on the file write lines. Now I'm going to run this project with Flask run, and it will create a link which we will again copy paste in the Google Chrome. It's taking a bit long, yeah. And we will paste this in Google Chrome. And we'll add a home in front of it, because then that gives a, yeah. Now here we can post, we can obviously edit the size of this according to the summary that we are posting. You can post anything. We are posting a summary that we have always, like you use the paper.txt, that file that we've used, we're using that text for generating the summary. You paste it here. As you can see, it's a huge text. So we will summarize it and we'll see how it works. Here. So this depends on how much you want it to be, how small you want it to be. You can always define that, call that on in the code, and the number of lines you will have, you wish, you can write it there and you'll get it. So this is the summary, and this is how the project works out. Hope you get this. Thank you.